to admit to the fact that I am exactly what I am. So where do we begin? I guess I'll just start off with just a couple of real basic facts. My name is Mike. Some of you may know that, some of you may not know that. I'm a vapor. I've been vaping for over a year. I found vaping as a healthier alternative to smoking cigarettes. And what got me to kick the habit was flavors. I think it's safe to admit that that is the number one thing that is the true calling point, or whatever it is you want to call it. What truly draws people from wanting to smoke and switch over to vaping, which through various studies have found that it is healthier. You know, is it 100% healthier? No, but it is 95% healthier, which we do know. Which, you know, we have the evidence to know that it is, as a safer alternative to smoking cigarettes. I started smoking when I was 23. I kind of have a weird story on that. My personal story is I got into a pretty heated argument with a girl I was dating at the time, and my solution to what had happened was to go pick up a pack of cigarettes. I had been wanting to smoke for kind of quite some time, but I never really had the balls to do it, and so I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go pick up a pack and I'm gonna call it good. And I didn't start off on, like, you know, Marb Lights or anything like that. I got a pack of Marb Red Blacks, and that's where I started. Some pretty hefty ass cigarettes if you're someone that is just starting off. And I can officially tell you that I did not feel very good for at least over the course of the next 3 days. I felt really nauseous. I felt really pretty serious headaches, and I was pretty much just knocked off my feet for the course of a good, you know, like, what, 3 days, whatever it was. And after that, I just kept wanting to smoke. I hated cigarettes at first. I thought smoking was disgusting. I thought, you know, who could ever want to do anything as gross as smoke cigarettes? And then, well, as it turns out, I really actually enjoyed the living shit out of it, and I became addicted very quickly, and kept up on my addiction through any means necessary. In case you're wondering, I'm looking for juice right now, or e-liquid. We've come to call it. A certain one that I've actually removed to use. I'm unsure of where it went. So you'll have to forgive me on that one. And, you know, just over the course of, like hating cigarettes, smoking, a pack and a half or so a day. Oh, there it is. I found it exceptionally hard to quit. I didn't want to quit, and I didn't know where to turn to eventually. I tried the gum, ended up just making me sick to my stomach. I tried the patches. I was using the patches and I was smoking at the same time, so I was having like horribly bad nightmares. I tried, I tried vaping once, and the nicotine content was a little too high, a little too harsh, so I wasn't able to enjoy it as much, and it didn't initially get me off smoking cigarettes until, I even tried after, I had a kid, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be my reasoning to quit smoking, and it wasn't. Nothing could truly get me off, the path of cigarettes until, what was it? 2018, I picked up an Aspire AIO, kind of an all-in-one little pen device, and some cookies and cream liquid, and I vaped on that, and that was quite enjoyable. And then I moved up to a smoke stick prints, and then I eventually grew to have all the hardware that I do. I have over 20 odd mods, over 30 different flavors of juice, and I can guarantee you, as a kid, most of this never ever would have been appealing, if not any of it. As a kid, kids like flavors like ketchup and burgers, and there's no such thing as a ketchup flavored e-liquid, because kids like vinegar or ranch. Excuse me. These flavors aren't available as e-liquids, and these are the kind of things that kids like. I don't know any kid that doesn't like ketchup. That's just the way it is, and I have a mixture of flavors that go from, strawberry honey graham, which I didn't really care for graham crackers that much as a kid, or strawberries. If you can't tell, I'm not much of a healthy eater. To, I have like green apple, I have pink lemonade. I love the shit out of pink lemonade, but I also knew that as a kid, this was never appropriate for someone my age at the time, because my parents taught me that certain things aren't okay to do as a kid. I like to believe that I'm, very much blessed in that sense, that my parents taught me the difference between right and wrong. Say, hey, this isn't okay, don't do this, otherwise you're a piece of shit and we're going to kick you out of the house. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what really kicked my ass into truly quitting was just an ultimate matter of willpower, and vaping. I have a lot of vices. It's not just smoking. It wasn't just one thing. It was, I have a spending money problem. I spend a lot of money on a lot of shit. I have mods and pods and juices and all kinds of shit that I don't care for. I have, I have a horrible, I grew up having a horrible pornography addiction. I'm not afraid to admit that. It's one of my several vices that I had. And the older that I've gotten, I've been able to, get a pretty good grip on a lot of these vices, I believe. And the only thing that really allowed me to ever truly quit smoking was, I truly believe, was vaping. And it was the flavors. I'm sorry, but I didn't even like the taste of cigarettes when I was smoking. Nonetheless, would I ever want to vape something that tasted like a cigarette? And like, have you ever kissed someone that just smoked a cigarette? I'm sorry, but that shit's kind of fucking disgusting. There's no way around it. You just, ugh. The smell and the taste and everything along with it. I mean, even now, as a former smoker, even when I was smoking, just smelling the cigarette smoke just almost made me nauseous. It was just like, ugh, like how could people really want to smell like this? And that's just part about having vices, is not caring, knowing the fact that my mom smoked a bunch when we were younger, and knowing the fact that my dad didn't really do anything about it. That was just kind of what it was. He couldn't control that aspect. He hated it, but there's nothing he could do about it. And then as I grew up, hating all the time. Oh my God, my mom's smoking. Until eventually, I ended up picking up the habit myself. Not so much because of her, but simply because, I wanted to. And I don't know if I'm coming across what the message is that I'm trying to say. I'm nobody important, nobody special. I'm just a guy that just likes shit. I like stuff. I like knowing how I can pick up something and get into it. It turned me off of sitting around all day eating. This helped me kick up extremely extensive, pornography addiction that I had. This helped me, find a hobby with something that I actually gave a shit about, You can't give a shit about things when all you want is a fucking cigarette. You want a cigarette, you want it right fucking now, and that's all there is to it. And I had many a days where that's just all it was, I just wanted to sit around and just have cigarettes and not care about anything or anyone. I only cared about myself. And now I have an amazing girlfriend that shares, a decent amount of quality pastime with me when it comes to this stuff. We sit around and I do rebuildables, and she sits down and she listens to me ramble on about shit, and I take care of coils for her, and batteries and all that good kind of stuff, and it actually helped build our relationship. We both quit smoking. We both built a healthier, better lifestyle. Through vaping, I think there's no way around denying that factor of life. And out of the blue, there's a bunch of fucking politicians that think they know what's best for people. And ultimately, I think politicians have no fucking clue what's best for anybody. That's just me, my personal opinion, I guess, on the matter. And it's safe to say that, vaping is now just a huge part of my life. It's what I like to do. It's what I like to spend my spare time on, my pastime, my money on. Instead of spending money going out to eat every other fucking day, I can spend my money on, something like vaping, supporting a local business that I like, or I made friends in the vaping community, which I definitely can't say about any other kind of community that I've ever been a part of. I mean, how do you make friends with a shopping addiction? How do you make friends with a pornography addiction? I don't know how to do that. If you can find someone that does, you let me know and I'll gladly join their team. I just heard something out in the living room. I don't know what to say about this thing. I keep trying and I just can't get a good vape out of this RDA. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know, I don't think there's any adult in this world that if they have to choose between smelling like cigarette smoke and smelling like, you know, fruity or desserty or anything other than cigarette smoke, I think they'll take that option. And I've heard the excuse 100,000 times. What about the kids? People are so concerned about kids. Guess what? That's bullshit. And you know it. And do you know why that is bullshit? Because everyone that goes on and on about kids doesn't care about public education, doesn't care about health care for kids. They don't give two shits about what happens to kids once, you know, they technically are no longer a kid. It's like, oh, you're 18, you know, fuck off. They're so concerned about their image and where the money goes that they don't give two shits about the kids. I think that's a pretty fair statement to go ahead and, you know, say. So I think if they did care about kids, there's a hell of a lot of other places to focus all that energy on. Care about kids? Show it by supporting your local public schools, public libraries. You know, getting invested in what kids are doing in school and not just punishing them every fucking chance that you get because you're a shitty fucking parent. Today's just not the day. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I don't know if anyone cares. I don't know if anyone really gives a shit. Who knows? Because I can guarantee you this. Doesn't matter if it's today, if it's tomorrow, if it's 10 years down the line. Kids are still going to do shit like smoke. They're still going to find ways of getting alcohol. They're still going to drink. They're still going to do what kids do. Doesn't matter how you want to classify it, clarify it, whatever it is you think. Teenagers are going to find a way to do dumb shit. Why? Because they're teenagers, and that's what teenagers do. They find a way around the system that says you're not supposed to do this, and they do it I don't know what else to tell you. But I can guarantee you this. Banning flavors to save kids. Saving one kid from experimenting with a vapor product compared to helping millions of adults. I don't see any logic in that. I don't. And you know what? If a kid tries, if they try a vape, big deal. Because we know what's really going on. We know the fact that it's illegal, illicit, and this vitamin E concentrate, basically, is what it is. That's going in to these, THC oil cartridges made in some dude's garage and getting sent out, and people buy them, and that's what's getting kids sick. And you can't turn around and say, oh, well, it's nicotine vaping. No one has ever gotten ill from nicotine vaping. They've never had a lung problem. You can't say, well, it hasn't been around long enough for us to know if it's possible or not. It's been around for 10 years. That's a long enough time frame to figure out whether or not something's fucked up. And that's just my 2 cents. I didn't mean to make this video go on for 20 odd minutes, but sometimes you just have to share what the hell's really going on in your mind. I know I haven't been on a whole lot. I've been busy with work, I've been busy with shit going on in my life I've just had to take care of, and for that I'm sorry. But in the meantime, just keep advocacy alive, educate people, help people out, help people to keep off of cigarettes. That's just all there is to it. And I can guarantee you, at least from my perspective, it's helped out immensely. I mean, there's no way around it. I breathe way better. I don't feel like I'm completely out of breath every single time I fucking walk across the apartment. I don't feel like I'm about to collapse whenever I walk upstairs. I can, I think better. I sleep better. The little smoker cough that everyone has, and that they cough all the fucking time, that's gone. I don't cough. I don't sit there and just cough randomly all the time and hack shit up. It's just not what I do anymore. So I don't want to sit here and hear people just blatantly fucking lie to us simply because all they care about is money. Vaping isn't about kids. Vaping is about adults finding a healthier alternative to combustible tobacco. Point blank, that's all that there is to it. I don't know what else to say. Until then, let's keep vaping safely, keep vaping smart. Just keep doing what needs to be done.